Killing Floor 3 just came out, and it's not looking good. I will be honest here, it is not looking good, boys.
Hey paisanos, it's Half-Baked Dragon here. Killing Floor 3 Beta TM is a survival horror Call of Duty Apex Legends shooter where you play as copyright-free Apex COD characters with a tiny bit of imagination sprinkled in.
Frames.
In Killing Floor 3 Beta TM, you'll survive hordes of creatures that are totally not copies of the thing by doing the opposite of what previous Killing Floor entries have been all about. You'll bunny hop, wall jump, zip line, and modern shooter slide all over the place to style on these new and improved Zeds.
Dude, this looks like that game that came out with the vampires. What was it called again? What was it called? The Bethesda game. It was made by the people that made Prey. This looks horrendous. What is that game? My brain has tried to remove it. Redfall. Redfall. That's right. Yep. Red Slop. Yep. It actually reminds me of that. It's in beta. Yeah, I know it's in beta, but like... it comes out pretty soon, I think, right? And I feel like you can't use that as a cope if the game is absolutely unplayable.
I changed my previous statement.
This is like the 7th video I've seen in my recommended attacking this game, by the way.
Of Survive, because KF3 Beta TM isn't a survival horror. As stated by the game's page, it's actually an action shooter. My mistake. Loading into the game.
Oh yeah,
you'll start off with...
I saw loads of people crying, being like, the original Killing Floor, it was like, oh, it had so much atmosphere, it was so dark and gritty, and this is all like Fortnite fun characters.
The Killing Floor tradition of ear blast.
I think the problem with it is, like, if you wanted like a more gritty kind of like, you know, horror kind of game, just play the original.
Tripwire interactive. And if your ears are still working after that, just so we're absolutely clear, here's some tax incentive Georgia ear blast. Once you've gotten past the initial steps of tinnitus, you'll be thrown right into the grinder. Get ready for the next boss fight. Compiling shaders and more tinnitus.
To be fair, that's every game. Every game ever. If you don't have like a god tier PC, it's about 9.5 hours to compile shaders. It's worse than a day one patch.
Tinnitus. By the way, it's been 5 minutes and I can't turn down the in-game volume. I think I can't hear anymore. Please help. Afterwards, hit the stronghold button where you'll be transported to the hub, where you can spend lots of time walking around, but make sure you stop by the place where Tripwire put the majority of their time budget into, the shop.
It's over. It's over. Every game now. Every game. Is it at least free? If it's free and they have that, I genuinely don't mind. I'm kind of over it. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's like 40 quid. Oh my god. It's 60 quid. It's 70 quid. What is that? $90? For the best version, and they have like that's crazy. Is this one of those things where like if you buy the best edition you get access to the game early? I really hope not. It's coming. Yeah, dude, it's out in 20 days. It's actually out really soon.
You can grab yourself classic Foster skin and Fope Mall Ninja Redux and free battle pass.
Fope! I love that.
Grab yourself classic Foster skin and Fope Mall.
I love that picture. I love that picture of Ghost. Fope! Fope!
All Ninja Redux and free battle pass. I mean supply pass, because let's give you guys a little taste of what we have in store before we implement future monetization options. You'll have a wide selection of characters to choose from in your totally ragtag team of Temu-sponsored mercenaries. Foster, one of the most iconic Killing
he's been like from the original game though.
Floor characters, but don't be mistaken, he's not the original Foster. He's a clone, but for the low price of not yet revealed monetization option, he could be the classic Foster you've always wanted. Devlin, who, as my friend puts it, is the firebug who is a yapper and a zoomer. You know, always has something to say about buff.
This game does not look good, man. He might also be poor coping, and he's just running everything on low.
Buffalo wings or macchiatas. Somehow went from working on Michael Bay films to designing bombs for the military. It worked. Luna, the angry Spanish sharpshooter who throws fierce Spanish words at Zeds because she's Spanish, tough, and angry. Basically, a Michelle Rodriguez type.
Am I tripping, or did Killing Floor 2 look better than this? Genuinely, I don't. There's something really off about like is it the color palette? I don't know. Wait. Let me look up Killing Floor 2, because I played that like Jesus. That must be like 8 years ago. The best zombie shooter you've never played? Shut up. Everyone played Killing Floor 1. Get your ass out of here with that Cry of Fear title. have a look.
It's oh shit. That's how slow motion. This is still one of the most badass games. In one of the more intense moments I didn't
Let's look at max settings. It still holds up though. Okay, yeah. So Killing Floor 3 does look better, like graphically. This looks worse than what I remember, but I haven't touched this game in like 8 years or something. Yeah, it doesn't look bad though. It genuinely still kind of holds up, I think. It looks like a game that could come out today that was made by like an incredibly small studio or like one guy.
Imram, the engineer.
Why is everyone saying yes? What?
Basically, guy likes things well designed like an engineer
Did you focus straight on that monster's ass, really?
because he's an engineer. Get it? Nakata, actual mall ninja shit. Can't understand him half the time because... And the other half of the time...
I like how they don't translate what they say. It's just speaking Spanish, speaking Japanese.
Is something I've heard from an anime before. At least I get to live out my childhood dream of being a ninja. Obi, the medic. I don't know, he just talks in the third person and about strongest surviving and specimens and stuff. You know, just regular scientist stuff. Finally, after finishing the filler episode of choosing your specialist, walking around the lifeless hub, riding this zipline that goes nowhere, and making sure you check out the goodie store, we get to hop into the game, explore the painstakingly put together maps of Unity Asset Flip City Streets. Seriously, City Streets reminds
It doesn't look bad, but one thing it does remind me of is like a more washed out version of Wolfenstein Youngblood. It just looks very kind of like pale.
me of a bare bones cyberpunk shooter asset flip game where
Actually, no, that's a good point. It looks like Cyberpunk just on low settings.
the only color palette we have is dystopian gray and nuclear fission yellow because those are the two cheapest assets to buy. Hey look, I guess
I like how he's got Mr. Beast accent.
we did get that reservation to Dorsia. Nice. But also check out the other maps like generic zombie apocalypse military base that's fallen to the Zeds and Horzine Factory, the only map in the beta that slightly resembles something from old Killing Floor 2. The Zeds of
I remember doing a map similar to that in KF2.
2091 have gone through a lot of push-ups, sit-ups, and plenty of juice, and they've got new knacks to tickle you to death. Klotz insists, the numerous trash of the game. Easy to hit, easy to kill, and easy to paint the entire map red with the oxygenated blood that occupies about 10% of the human body. And they love attaching themselves to you for that quick time event that's totally not Doom's glory kill mechanic. Floats that have been hitting the gym hard, so they can run up to you and hit you with the peak male athletic form, and the Who Wants Clam Chowder emetophilia attack. Husks that have equipped themselves with an exosuit that lets them fly into
Emetophilia? Isn't that like a king for being vomited on?
the sky and hit you with the aimbot sirens that started wearing neck rings to give them maximum neck height for optimal
Dude, I hate to admit it. This looks like it's going to be a Payday 3 situation, man. Because that game is still complete... Hang on. To be fair, they did try to save Payday 3 because they did add a jacket from Payday 2. So 12k. They added jacket. Oh my fucking god, that's brutal. That's actually brutal. Not even 1,000 anymore. That's brutal. 12k versus like 900 people. That's brutal.
audio-visual disruption. Scrakes that continuously
Yeah, they added a DLC for Payday 3, like a free one where you can play as Jacket from Hotline Miami, but like I just don't think they can save it, man, genuinely.
hit the Liver King diet to get even more top-heavy, and also equip themselves with a long-range grapple hook that has more range than Marth's melee grab. I absolutely love it when 3 people are literally within sniffing range of the Scrake's ash cheeks, and when I decide to shoot him with 3 tiny bullets, it causes him to roid rage and pull me halfway across the map just so he can slap me for annoying him. And the Flesh Pound, the synthol-injecting paleo diet man-child that gets extremely mad at you for even looking in their general direction, and loves pulling out the chains and whips because it excites him. I'll be honest, I kind of feel like my mans has gotten smaller than his previous iterations. Words that no ego-driven Instagram lifter wants to hear, but I'm here to speak truth to the guy that his 5x30 5-minute per day routine is not doing him any favors. Alright, joke
Why did he have a gas mask on when he did that?
Aside, it's time for me to get a bit serious. If it hasn't been clear already, let me make it crystal clear. Killing Floor 3 Beta TM isn't a Killing Floor game. Everything is sterile, safe.
That looks cool though, like that statue in that backdrop. That looks really cool. But like, I just don't know why everything else looks just so lifeless.
There's no grime or grunge. The blood and gore feel more like someone just spilled red paint over everything and called it a day. As one of my friends puts it, you can't even tell if it's blood anymore because literally everything is painted in blood. Visuals aside, modern shooter mechanics slid their way into Killing Floor 3 Beta TM. Things like ketamine-addled slides and hardcore parkour wall runs are added in instead of deliberate movement, where panic running into a corner is almost a death sentence in earlier titles, especially on harder difficulties. Now, it just feels like if you're in trouble, just slap some bunny hops and shin-shattering COD slides up and down some stairs, and it's almost like you were never in trouble to begin with. I ran into a corner on hard mode while being chased by a Scrake and Flesh Pound, and instead of getting hard punished by having my flesh pounded, I just pulled a COD 360 shin sweeper twice and got away pretty much scot-free.
It's actually the same as rounding up zombies in COD.
Weapons are pretty generic and just lack a lot of oomph. The only few weapons I felt were pretty satisfying were the Dragon's Breath shotgun with double blast, the slicey dicey blades, and the Mall Ninja Go random bullshit throwing weapons. But other than that, the majority of other weapons just didn't leave a major lasting impact. That being said,
did you guys hear that? Some car just like speeding super fast outside.
I know it's a beta TM, and they're probably hiding more weapons. Probably. Classes are just boring and don't have a soul attached to them anymore. They're classified as specialists. Battlefield 2040.
I hate when they do that, man. I don't want to pick a character I don't like just because they have a gun that I want. I hate that so much. Like, can we stop doing that in games? Stop with the whole like personality stuff. Just give a character that you can like fully customize and stuff with like voice lines and that.
2 style and locked in with character selection. Tripwire's reasoning behind locking characters,
or at least make characters that look interesting apart from just generic military grunt 5 billion and 4
to classes is to make it easier to identify classes through characters. This is a nothing burger. Literally looking at the nameplates has always been fine. My long-standing relationship with Tripwire, where Tripwire continuously tries to shove weapon crates and character skins down my gullet since day 1 of KF2, points me to suspect these specialists are force locked so that they can sell some skins. Oh hey, look at that, Battle Pass and classic skins already being promoted. Never changed, Tripwire. In KF2, Commando, Firebug, and SWAT were 3 different flavors of with limited Big Z hunting options, while Gunslinger, Sharpshooter, and Demo can literally left-click to delete Big Zs, but as a trade, they aren't able to clear trash.
Yeah, Killing Floor 2 actually still looks really solid, you know. When did it come out? It actually came out nearly 10 years ago. God, I'm rotting.
As well as the trash killers. Then you had the more specialized roles like the absolutely goated medic, the Giga Chad
I always played as the medic in Killing Floor 2. I remember he was actually so cracked.
Ground and pound your mom, Berserker, and the rip and tear support. Then there's specialist, which is pretty much a meme pick and a coin toss between solid all-arounder and fuck it, we play every class poorly. Instead, in KF3 Beta TM with the specialists, they pretty much amount to, here's 4 weapons. Do you want to play as Big Trash Killer or Big Z Hunter? Commando doesn't really feel like a commando. I don't know what its purpose is in this game. It used to be a dedicated trash killer and Z-time extender, but I don't feel like it does anything good that the other classes can't do better. Looking through the planned skill tree, it seems like Tripwire wants to make the commando some sort of ranged tank that applies status effects and keeps the enemy at bay. It feels like they wanted commando to be a SWAT, but also utilize syringes to take a dose of speed and also have extra damage stacks. It's like it wants to be a big damage dealer, but also a tank, but also a rapid fire trash killer, but also a hold the line type of fella. It just feels like there's a weird disjoint in the class and it doesn't have a main focus. At the least, the weapons feel decent since they're ballistics, but then again, the weapons just lack oomph. Firebug isn't a firebug. It's just a class that happens to have weapons that fire incendiary bullets. It just
notice how when an enemy catches fire, the game freezes for about 2 seconds.
Feels like I'm shooting at Zeds and they just so happen to poof on fire the moment my bullets hit them.
Oh, that
and
looks
fire
rough.
magically spawns around the Zeds. It doesn't feel like I'm roasting everything to cinders and panicking everything much to the jargon of sharpshooters. And it also really doesn't.
I know it's a beta. But the fact that like a near 10-year-old game looks better is pretty crazy.
Doesn't help that the fire is literally just a PNG effect. Killing Floor 3 Beta TM, by the way. The incinerator is supposed to be this game's flamethrower, but it feels more like I'm just shoving a hairdryer into someone's face on max setting. And the Dragon's Breath shotgun and SMG are more like SWAT and support weapons, rather than the classic MAC-10 and Dragon's Breath shoddy in KF1 and 2 that spray fire everywhere with each shot. Engineer is this weird mix between support and demo, where Tripwire said, hey, these two classes are big Zed hunters, so we should just Apple pen them together, right?
Oh my god, that's a 10-year-old bit.
Except it's like they forgot what made those classes feel great. Support had a big fuck-off shotgun that launched Zeds into KF4, and the demo just absolutely nuked your entire screen with blood, guts, and gore. Remember the Dragon's Breath shotgun I mentioned in the Firebug class? It feels more like a support shotgun than the new engineer shotguns. Sharpshooter's actually one of the few.
Thank you, Rick, for the 2. Heard of VIP MLG edits? A parody of parody. I've never heard of that, no. Thank you, Nepitos, for the Prime as well.
Classes I feel is pretty decent because of the gunslinger sharpshooter synergy that's always been there since KF1, but the weapons just don't have any punch to them. It just feels like each weapon is a Tickle Me Elmo designated marksman rifle, instead of the hard-hitting sniper or semi-auto rifles we had in the old games that just pop off heads. And there's also a distinct lack of heavy punching weapons like the railgun or 50 cal fun time to explode Zed's heads like someone putting a pipe bomb inside of a watermelon. The ninja class is a Maul Ninja Berserker that functions as a Moon Knight throwing random shit at people. I feel like the Maul class ninja was just slapped together because Tripwire was afraid people would complain there wasn't a melee class in the start.
I'd love to know what settings he's got on this game because it does look really, really rough.
Lineup. I mean, you have bigger problems to worry
Frames.
about, but okay. That being said, I did want to try the ninja out more as I was a Berserk main in KF2. Parrying for me felt off and
the animations seem a lot more fluid and faster. That is one like benefit I will give this beta.
It was kind of weird, but I think I
especially with the enemies.
Figured it out. I think it might be a placebo, but I feel like you have to be looking exactly pixel perfect at the Zed attacking you to parry. If you're not visually lined up exactly, the game doesn't consider that as a block or parry, which is frustrating because in KF2, it was more about the timing of the attack instead of if you were looking right into the Zed's glowing bedroom eyes. It wasn't until level 10 I got both the perfect parry skills that pretty much made Ninja feel fun. It's pretty much the same as KF2's Berserker leveling, where Berserker is dog water until you reach level 15 and get the same parry perk. I feel like if Ninja was focused on being a unique class about utilizing the new movement system and throwing shit at people, it would feel a lot more inspired. Instead, Ninja just tries to be both a berserker and occasionally yeeting shurikens at Zed's heads. Medic is something I don't have too much experience in. I've played Medic in KF1 and 2 and got the general gist of the role in those
Dude, Medic, it was the best character in Killing Floor 2.
games. Heal, buff, and keep everyone alive and kicking. I asked thoughts from my friend who is a Medic main in those 2 other games, bless his goated soul by the way, to help me figure out why the class just felt off when compared to the other Killing Floors. In KF3 Beta TM, it feels like the Medic takes more of a and drop syringe bags everywhere healer. It just doesn't feel
Dude, there are more bags on that floor there. What in the battlefield is going on here? Look how many medic bags there are.
everywhere healer. It just
Dropping a
doesn't
medic
feel
bag.
like a medic is a medic
Dropping
anymore.
supplies.
Sure, you still have the ability to shoot people with your rinky-dinky health darts that are semi-useful, but they just aren't as good as the limited press Q to heal all damage syringes that everyone has until I guess you level up the medic skill tree, which provides better healing. I think Tripwire was trying to go for this style of play where everyone has limited heals to prioritize the medic, but I think in their own brilliance, they cause the opposite effect where even though the medic's ulti is pretty great and syringe's auto
Dude, what did I think that was like techno funk troll face that appeared on screen there?
they cause the opposite effect where even though the medic's ulti
Why did I think that was like a troll face that appeared?
is pretty great and syringes auto follow players, I feel like using my own syringe is just better because of the big healy wheelie it gives and the almost unlimited syringes you can get from buying it at a trader or getting it from mass spamming medkits. It honestly feels like Tripwire wanted Medic to be more of a battlefield buffer like Apex Legends support character, rather than the Medic we know, rapidly keeping everyone's health topped up and good to go. On the topic of triage, I don't think the Resi-Wesi mechanic ripped right from Apex really belongs in Killing Floor. It kind of feels like less of a punishment for messing up, but I do find it fun to walk up and press E to revive, and poof! All the mangled bones and torn flesh from your teammate is rescinded,
This is actually like watching a PowerPoint slideshow, I'll be honest.
and they're able to cod slide out of the bang bus to stick a syringe in their forearm. Z time has been changed from classic Killing Floor's random matrix action moment to build up a kill bar with every player taking a hit of amphetamines once Z times triggers. I feel like it's a step backwards and the antithesis to what Z time originally was. Z time used to be a random celebration of gore, violence, and obliteration, with commandos blessedly extending your show to an encore. Now,
Yeah, when they had that, it was so good. The adrenaline thing in Killing Floor 2. And it was like, it was really cool, but then in later rounds, you needed it. Like, you needed that time to slow down so you could pop off like every single head because you were gonna die.
Instead, it's turned into a simulation of what a cat feels when it has murder zoomies and wants to slap every toy and furniture around the house. I understand the kill bar is meant for a more tactical use of Z time, but I feel like the whole Z time was born from the rule of cool, and now it just doesn't feel cool or organic anymore. It's just a thing that happens, and either you get hard murder zoomies or a get out of jail free card. If you stayed this long in a video, here are some positives, but not much. Normal difficulty is brain dead gaming, so my friend and I tried hard and hell on earth to see how it plays. The game and its mechanics are actually decently fun with friends and on a harder difficulty. It feels like the game was intentionally designed with COD movements in mind, and on the harder difficulties, the new mechanics do get a chance to shine. The movement is nice for maneuvering and kiting Zeds on harder difficulty. Even if they still do a weird sprint towards you, then kindly walk towards you respectfully. Some classes feel pretty fun to play. Sharpshooter and Ninja have been enjoyable. Ninja especially when I got the parrying perk and stun coating on all my weapons. Ultimate moves are pretty wacky, but pretty useful.
Yeah, the medic didn't look that great, which sucks because that's definitely what I'd main.
Sharpshooter's Yondu arrow and Commando's screen gore drone generally delete a lot of things on the screen.
One thing I noticed from like video game experience, anything that looks cool is probably useless. Like that little flying drone there, because that little Amazon drone actually looks kind of cool.
Things on the screen. The medic's domain expansion is a pretty cool way to give break to the hold shift to run and get a group heal off. And the engineer carries around a boombox. The Mall Ninja does this goofy Spider-Man zip punch Doom Eternal style, and the Firebug just does Lucio's beat drop with fire.
Oh, that's awful. What in the Overwatch 1 was that attack? That's trash. The rest weren't even that bad.
Bug just does Lucio's beat drop with fire. There's a couple of small things like crawlers crawling on the floor and crawling in my skin, Zed's crawling on the floor after you delete their limbs, or the Scrake's goofy pull animation where he just yoinky sploinkies you into death. It's pretty funny when you're a couple meters away from the Scrake and all your teammates are literally clapping his cheeks and he decides to pull you in because you shot him 3 times, and that made him real angry. I like being
Didn't he make that point earlier in the video? He said that exact point, right? Or do I have dementia?
able to customize my weapons to give them unique status modifiers and looks. Stun modifier on the Ninja goes crazy, but I feel like it's just another ripoff from the COD loadout system. And that's all I've got for positives, really. I feel like Killing Floor 3 Beta TM is just an amalgamation of a bunch of popular games. It just feels like a bunch of half-assed things that were mixed together to try and cook a whole-ass game. The majority of things feel like they were just ripped straight from other games, either because Tripwire didn't want to make a Killing Floor game, or they just had their eyes on the prize for cash money. Like I've said previously, the movements are all taken from modern shooters like Apex and COD, and it just feels so different from the old Killing Floor's methodical movements where death was just one bad corner turn away. The characters feel like they're just copied high school homework from Call of Duty or Apex. The guns just feel—
Yeah, I think Apex is actually a really good comparison there, because when I looked at them, I did think like of Apex characters.
Feel like they're generic sci-fi weapons rehashed, like the Medic's Ghostbuster gun and the last weapon, the LF8.
Like, I will be honest, I know this is like my particular brand of like autism, but I swear to God, if I ever see like a character that I play in like a co-op game, the first thing I'm doing is going to the item store to buy like some kind of like helmet or mask to cover their face. Because I do not like that is the first thing I do in like Dark Souls and stuff. Like I genuinely do not care.
5, which is literally just All-Out Force Institute rifle, but with red lasers. They even added in Doom's glory kill mechanic, where if a Zed has low enough health, you can just press B to glory kill and get stuck in an animation that is just half
I mean, that animation wasn't too bad. It wasn't like Doom level, but
fast. And there's nothing like getting stuck in an animation in a game where the most important thing is movement. It totally—
Someone said weird, not gonna lie. Why is it weird?
Didn't get my friend killed in a Hell on Earth level when I got locked in a Zed grab quicktime event, and he got body blocked by Devlin's entire bakery being chicaned by Zed's outside Dorcio. Even the Vital animations just feel half-assed.
Dude, I'm pressing the button to skip to a frame. And it's just not... I've got to press it about 5 times before it loads another frame.
Fast, right from XCOM 1. Literally, the liftoff and loading screen is just XCOM 1's Skyranger liftoff and loading screens. I feel like Killing Floor 3's Beta TM Foster is a perfect description of what Killing Floor 3 Beta TM is. Foster in this game is a clone of the original Foster. Orzine got tired of Foster's old
Stand still or I'll stick it where the sun don't bloody shine,
declaring each clone to be defective and scrapped for rework, to which the Foster clone escaped. I feel like Killing Floor 3 Beta TM is just an abstraction of the original Killing Floor 1 and 2. It's a clone with the KF name on it, with attempts made to add old things just because it's KF. But like Foster, Tripwire wants Killing Floor 3 Beta TM to
Look at that running, man. What is... That Garden of Banban actually had a more consistent running animation than this.
Killing Floor. From modern knee-breaking slides, Apex Legends gear and UI, and Doom glory kills, it's a modern shooter with decently fun mechanics, but it's simply not Killing Floor. With its release in literally a month, the whole beta not final product tag kinda seems like a final product tag. The only things I can see Tripwire fixing are just the bugs. Entire reworks, if planned, just aren't feasible within a month. I don't want to say that this is the Killing Floor 3 product we get because it's advertised as Beta TM, but
I really hope they can turn it around, man. They don't have long, though. They've got 20 days. I really actually hope that they turn it around, because this could be a game that I would play a lot.
if they decide the chicken is done cooking...
Oh, man. Why can't games just be released, like, in a playable state?
Then this is what we get. Just another soulless AAA game looking to ride the coattails of other soulless AAA studios.
Like, I don't even care about early access. Like, I don't care. Like, that's fine. But, like...
That's it for this video.
Just actually release a functional game.